Shalom, first and foremost, like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rukal double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who are teaching this truth in sincerity, and a shout out to Yakim that's out there on four corners of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rukal Bracha Tum. Well, I would have been on earlier today with this, but we lost power for a few hours, so I just couldn't get online, but pretty much, as you can see, though, that we're snowed in right here in Redding, and they say that this storm's all the way up north. Now, if you know anything about weather, you should know, though, that this is where spring should be coming in, but this is looks like it's the dead of winter again. So we know that Esau is using weather modification, and that this whole thing's manufactured. And like everything else, though, this say that the storm's supposed to last for the next few days. So, well, I think you know what my lesson's going to look like on the street tomorrow. So anyhow, this is what it looked like. This is a video of me just coming around the block. Ah, he's so screwing with this video so much. God damn it. Esau doesn't even want to let this thing fucking play. But this is what I had to deal with this morning. And this is just where I live, too. Yeah, so I'll probably have better luck with just the pictures. But, yeah, man, things falling over. You know, and you can see that this is definitely manufactured. You know, and, yeah, you know, so if you want to walk around town, you're just going to have to walk in the areas where the cars have been, you know, trying to be smart about this. You know, you wouldn't try to walk too far in this. And, of course, I hyperventilate, as you can tell in this video. Because, of course, I don't have very good lungs anymore, me being young and around here. Slovak, so anyhow, like I said, the video just wasn't coming in good, but these are some still pictures I took from this morning. As you could tell, man, I mean, we're snowed in, and this is not normal for Redding. You know, and this is just around the block. Pretty much anything I need to do, I gotta go do it on foot. Good thing I live near areas where I can do things on foot, but yeah, man, I wouldn't recommend driving in this. And they say it's going to be like that for the next 3 or 4 days. You know, but you could tell, though, that this is definitely manufactured by Esau. Because this is not the way it's supposed to look, you know. This is definitely not normal for Redding. You know, most of the time it's hot up here. But during the winter it gets pretty cold. But, nah, man. It's almost never like this. And usually when it does snow, it's only for like 2 or 3 hours and then eventually clears up. And this is just near Court Street, where the appointment that I had to go to, which of course, that appointment was canceled, but that's where I needed to go to this morning, you know. And don't think that Esau went to work to call people to tell them that the appointment's been canceled. No, man. This is Jake, you know, Tribe this car, man. They came to tell us that, okay, you know, the appointment's been canceled and rescheduled. And they had to drive almost a whole hour just to get here. You know, so, yeah. Esau, man, he'll find any way to get out of work. But, you see, we have a background of work. You know, we show up for work and we do the jobs that the Edomites wouldn't want to do. So, yeah, that's Court Street. You can see how snowed in it is, you know, and that was just earlier this morning. Slovak for that last photo. Again, you know, those were just stills I took, but here's the only report I really have about this Northern California blizzard. It'll probably show up on RT later, but anyhow, here's a report on it.
All right. This is Dodge with a little snow squall. Just incredible. Fresh tracks all day. All day. I mean, look how much snow there is, guys. This is just...
Okay, I don't live anywhere near this, but
Some snow ghosts?
But pretty much it snowed in all the way up to Oregon, from Red Bluff to Oregon, which is a pretty long ways.
That's I'm having fun on a weekend ski laugh.
Yeah, Rich Edomite here. All right, well, not too much information.
All right, you guys,
there, but
this is it. You hike up a little bit. Super good. Waist deep powder. We made the hike. Look at this. And look at that. Buried. 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 So here we go, Dodge Ridge.
All right, Slovak. Just going to go on to other things here. In the latter days, as Isaiah chapter 17 tells us, because we can say that's a lot more than just Ephraim. Ephraim's the northern kingdom, but pretty much this devil was going to come after both Syria and all 12 tribes collectively. Well, this is what's going on in Syria near the Turkey border. Here's another terrorist attack, which you can best believe the United States is behind it. So this is a car explosion brought to you by Mossad. Speaking of Mossad, Israeli state has a new mission. There's new Israeli state attacks, which is Amalek striking Syria within the last few days.
Late on February the 11th, Israeli forces struck positions of the Syrian Arab Army, SAA, in the province of Quneitra, near the Golan Heights, according to local sources. Shells and missiles reportedly hit at least 8 buildings and positions, including the Quneitra City Hospital and an observation post near the Al-Shaab Mount. Later, Israeli media claimed that the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, had hit positions of Lebanese Hezbollah. The IDF released no official comment on the incident. The attack followed a series of media reports claiming that the Lebanese movement was buying US and British weapons and equipment from former members of the Free Syrian Army, FSA. These reportedly included US-made TOW anti-tank guided missiles and UK-made thermal surveillance systems. The militants reportedly hid these weapons, ignoring terms and conditions of the reconciliation agreement with the Damascus government. The UAE-based Orient TV speculated that the alleged illegal deals between former FSA members and Hezbollah are being supported by the Syrian Air Force Intelligence Directorate and the SAA's 4th Division. So far, no source spreading these reports has been able to provide evidence to confirm its claims. Furthermore, pro-government sources deny that Hezbollah has any kind of permanent positions deployed near the Golan Heights. The Hezbollah FSA deals are not the only rumour spread by Israeli and pro-Israeli media. On February the 7th, Channel 12 claimed that Syria, Iran and Hezbollah are jointly working to establish a secret missile factory in the town of Safita in the province of Tartus, therefore near the area where the Russian naval facility is located. The Israeli channel claimed that an organization named Anas Group had been created to facilitate the work of the factory by purchasing materials from Italy, China, and other Asian states. The factory is supposedly being run by Jamal Saeed, who is said to be a well-known figure in the field of missile production in the Middle East, according to the channel. The missile factory will allegedly be involved in turning Hezbollah's missiles into precision-guided munitions, which can then strike positions inside Israel with high accuracy. Syrian experts say that such reports are barely based on real intelligence, and their main goal is to justify Israeli military actions in their war-torn country. After the IL-20 incident and the S-300 delivery to the Syrian military, Israel had temporarily halted its strikes on the war-torn country. However, in January to February 2019, the situation escalated once again. Considering the recent developments, the IDF is set to expand its operations until it will face a painful response to its actions. Most likely, this will be the first case of S-300 use by the Syrian military. Depending on the result of this action, the conflict could develop in various directions, from further escalation to another period of temporary calm in Israeli actions. Meanwhile, the US-led coalition and the Syrian Democratic Forces continued their operation against ISIS in the Euphrates Valley. Local sources report about hundreds of coalition airstrikes in the area over the past few days. If the situation develops in the same direction, the ISIS held pocket will be eliminated within a few days. Earlier, the success of this advance was named as one of the preconditions to start the real withdrawal of US forces from Syria.
Okay, what this report had failed to tell you is that there's civilians that were killed in those airstrikes right there between Iraq and Syria, and I'm going to just get right to it here.
US-led coalition of killing 16 civilians and injuring dozens in a bombing raid over the border with Iraq. Our video agency Ruckley filmed the aftermath of what appears to have been a combination of airstrikes and shelling. Our correspondent Murad Gazdiev takes a good look.
Syria, again, is accusing the United States of war crimes.
On 11 February 2019, the US-led coalition committed a new crime against innocent Syrian civilians. Its warplane targeted a civilian camp in the village of Al-Baghouz in the countryside of the governorate of Deir ez-Zor. 16 civilians, including 7 children, were killed, and 70 civilians, most of them women and children, were injured. Syria again calls on the UN Security Council to stand up against these crimes and attacks and to shoulder its responsibilities in the maintenance of international peace and security.
Here's what happened. Near Deir ez-Zor, East Syria, is a small village, Al-Baghouz, which happens to be one of the last Islamic State enclaves in Syria, and it is in the firing line. The US-led coalition, its troops and allies on the ground are pressing it from all sides, and the media's there too, watching this ISIS village burn.
Final push to defeat ISIS.
The village is their last remaining stronghold in northeastern Syria.
Days away from victory, days before they saw the end of the caliphate.
The problem, and a serious one at that, is that aside from the 500-600 ISIS fighters, there are hundreds upon hundreds of civilians, innocents, whom the terror group is holding hostage, using as human shields.
The coalition killed a lot of families. They killed a lot of families, a lot of children.
This time, the US-led coalition hit a mosque, and the coalition has a rule never to hit mosques. They're protected, except when it stops being a mosque, because the Pentagon says so.
This mosque lost its protected status when ISIS deliberately chose to use it as a command and control center.
Not the first time they hit a mosque, which stopped being a mosque packed with people. The incident near Aleppo springs to mind. Yes, the coalition takes all reports of civilian casualties seriously, investigates for months or years, writes an apology note when everyone's forgotten and moved on.
Yeah, and that's what this devil does, you know, killing is what he's always been good at. But wait, he didn't just stop in Syria. No, I said he's coming after all 12 tribes, you know. Well, the word says that he would. Now, this is dealing with the tribe of Levi. These Edomites are starving them out, so of course, like everything else, you know what's going to happen here, and you can best believe, though, that this is going to escalate. And you know this is going to happen in the United States. Remember, the devil has come down having great wrath because he knows that he had but a short time. In part 2 of this, I'll get more into what's going on with Asher. For that, I want to say Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kadosh, Bracha Tam. Death to America, death to you 2/3. This devil is coming after you. You can best believe that.